Shalom, welcome to Torah 6 and 6. 6 minutes and 6 days, and you have a whole sikh. And just to recap very briefly, it's just that we're talking about the happiness of the water drawing ceremony that was during Succos, and everybody was happy. And in part 2, then we talked about how important being happy really is. And we're going to talk now about it. That is, anyway, the Rambam says, every day you should be happy. It's not only, all right, a holiday is Samachta b'chagecha, it says you should be happy in your holidays. All right, be happy, but it's not just, all right, during the rest of the year, I'm a little bit sad, I'm a little down, but all right, now it's time, it's a holiday, now I'm going to be happy. Like people work during the weekday, oh, the weekend's coming, now I can relax and be happy and enjoy myself. No, in the Torah, every day is to be happy, whether it's just a regular day or, God forbid, things happen that aren't the best, you still have to be happy no matter what happens. And the Tanya talks about how to be happy, that even though things aren't going the way you want them to be. But still, happiness is, bottom line, is throughout the year. So what's the idea about Succos? So you have to be super happy on Succos. Not just be happy, but you have to be super happy. And we talked about why the water drawing ceremony makes you super happy. But now the Gemara actually tells and describes how these great sages. Now you can imagine a great sage. Of course, we have the Lubavitcher Rebbe as an example, but any great sage, they're learned in Torah. That's what a sage is, a Talmid Chacham. He learns a lot of Torah, and a person learns the Torah, a studious person. He's not just go golfing every day or just watching the baseball games. They're very studious people, obviously. To be a Talmid Chacham, to be a sage, you have to be very studious. And all of a sudden, that these greatest sages of Jewish history in the times of the Mishnah and the Gemara, that these people come Succos, you say, well, it's very nice to put a smile on their face. No, that they would juggle, for example. So again, but what are you juggling for? A juggling is like a little bit of a clown. You see a person at the weddings or you go to the circus or the theater and people are juggling around. What's a sage, a Talmid Chacham, that what is he doing that he is juggling about? And they juggle these many torches and that many torches it goes into it. And they would make all kinds of, you call in Yiddish shtick, to showing their great happiness. And not only that, it's just the Gemara actually does say it was the sages specifically, not like, well, everybody was doing some kind of funny things, but it was specifically the sages that would show this incredible happiness even more than the common people. Again, why? And that's the idea that we said before with the water drawing ceremony. Yes, you're happy when you learn Torah. It should make you happy. I always make a joke, but in any case, that says on Tisha B'Av, you're supposed to be sad on the 9th day of Av to remember the destruction of the temple. And therefore, because you're sad, you shouldn't learn any Torah because Torah makes you happy. So it's just a joke, but I just say on the contrary, you should make people learn 24 hours a day, and you'd hear moaning and groaning, I got to learn, this is hard, it's terrible. But it's a joke because really the truth of the matter is, and like the rabbis say, learning Torah is not maybe a kid at school, I got to learn the Chumash, and I got to learn the Gemara, this is, I got to go to school. It's no one's punishing anybody by learning Torah. On the contrary, it's the greatest, the most happy idea of a person, that learning God's Torah and being connected to Hashem and being one with Hashem. So the rabbis were correct. On Tisha B'Av, when you're supposed to be sad, you shouldn't learn any Torah. And in any case, these Talmid Chacham, these sages, obviously were very happy people because they were totally imbued with the idea of Torah. That's what a sage is. And therefore, that they were very happy for learning the Torah. So again, what do we say about the water drawing ceremony? That it's not a matter of you have reasons and you understand. Of course, if you're studying, you understand your material, and you say in Yiddish, you chap, You grasp the idea and it makes you feel good. Oh, it was difficult. Oh, I got it now. And it makes you feel good that you understand the idea. So that makes you happy. But again, any happiness is going to be limited if you're dependent on your mind, because as we said, it's not a matter, oh, I got it, period, and like 2 + 2 = 4, I got it, there's nothing what to talk about, or any subject for that matter. But in a matter of Hashem's Torah, as much as you understand, there's more to be understood. Again, for example, the Gemara has many commentaries on it. If you learn just the Gemara and Rashi, all right, you understood it and you get it, and that's very good feeling. But wait a minute, there's Tosfos, there are extra commentaries, there's different viewpoints on the Gemara. So it just goes on and on and on. And since God is infinite, His Torah is infinite, so there's never an end to the understanding. So again, even though the Talmid Chacham, the sage, is happy, but in as great as they are great sages, they understand that they don't really understand. The Rambam Maimonides says the ultimate knowledge is that you understand that you don't understand. And they were great sages. They understood there's always more to be understood. So that gives them a feeling of yearning, of continuing, and maybe being not satisfied so much with their learning, because they know there's more to be learned. But what was the water drawing ceremony on Sukkot? And we said there's no reason and no idea behind it. It's very plain. You're just connected to Hashem. So in a way, maybe we can use the idea of the sages. It blew their minds. It went beyond there. It's not a matter of their understanding. They understand they're not just learning some very intricate and beautiful ideas in the Talmud, but they're learning God's Torah. And God is infinite and beyond, even though they're the greatest sages and they understood so much. Nevertheless, their understanding was ultimately limited, and they just now that on Sukkot it's a time to go beyond their understanding and beyond their knowledge. So we'll continue on part 4 next time.